another episode of Bonafide Her podcast featuring Kate Ruth. Did you know you are now episode 50 as a guest now, girl?
I didn't know if that was going to be me or like one before, so honored.
Yes, so
congratulations to getting to 50. That's big.
Yeah, so I had to make sure to present the best of the best, make sure all my guests be the best of the best. So
of course. I know I was watching some previous ones, like just impressed with everybody. Just hearing everybody's stories, how different it is. It's nice that you do this, especially like women's sports needs it.
Oh yeah, because Lord have mercy. It's like I said, I always say, like, I just want to be able to provide a platform and just
no, you definitely do that.
Well, let's get it started though, before I get a little teary-eyed for a minute. Let's get it started. So, Miss Kate, can you let us know like your sports journey and how to where you are right now?
Yeah, my sports journey was a long one for sure. Obviously, I started playing basketball young. I also played volleyball and then soccer. Kind of was torn between basketball and soccer for going to college. Had options for both. Went with basketball, which I don't regret whatsoever. It was like the things that I learned from basketball. And then too, like having a smaller sport, usually 10 girls on a team, like really get a sisterhood kind of thing out of that, which I really liked. Definitely more like one-on-one too, which was cool. I think, sports in general just taught me a lot where like my path and where I'm at in life. I'm really in like a male dominant field right now. So it's like, I personally think basketball helps me with that, as weird as that is, because obviously like women's sports and stuff, but just like from what I can take and comfort levels, just everything like that, I feel like basketball, every step on a court, you're out of your comfort zone. So that helped me with that. But yeah, my background. So I started off at University of Tampa. I played my freshman year at University of Tampa for women's basketball. I liked it, loved it, too far from home, so I decided to go to St. Thomas University. And then I finished up my career there. Had a lot of different style coaches as well, which was different. Coach Walker, she was great. She was definitely my favorite in my college career, that's for sure. But different styles, and just really helped me get to where I am and what I do now. Makes you tough playing women's sports. I think any sport in general, but it definitely brings my side out of you. I have a 2-year-old daughter now, so I'm going to be very big that she gets into sports as well, just because everything that it taught me is just, you're not going to get that anywhere else.
Oh, girl, and your mother too. Ooh, slay, girl, slay. Hey. So my question is, we both know Coach Walker. I was like, oh my God, you know her? I know her back in UCW days. So what was that like? What was she like playing for under her?
She was a breath of fresh air. She was. My prior coach was amazing. She really knew what she was doing, but she was hard. I mean, like I have nightmares from her practices. It was rough. So Coach Walker really a breath of fresh air. She just knows the game so well. She's so supportive. I really could not speak anything negative upon her. She was just all around amazing. Definitely stepped into a program that was needed picking up after the previous coach. So she came in and did her job. We went to nationals actually first year with her, which was great.
Ooh, nationals?
Yeah, it was fun.
That slay on them. I'm telling you. Hey, yeah. She gets you to nationals. You winning on that.
Exactly. She was an amazing coach.
So
my definitely played under her.
Oh yeah. Like when I tell you she can flat out play, like she was a hooper, like back in college.
I remember people bringing up videos of her when I was playing with her, like playing for her. It was, she was impressive.
Oh yeah. So I'm like, oh, it's a small world after all. I swear, like, it's crazy how like the one sport that everybody plays is like it's like, oh, you know them? It's like, oh my gosh. It's like, it is it just brings the folks come together. It's like, oh,
It
this is so
does,
amazing.
yeah,
So
definitely.
so my question is, what's it like to see like the rise of women's basketball continue with the viewership and the support?
It's it's nice. It's just it's comforting in general. Just have played the sport and obviously not seeing it be where it should be, especially compared to men's. I always enjoy watching women's over men's any day of the week just because it's fundamentals. You know, you don't get that in men's sports. You do have some teams out there that I definitely applaud for it, but men and women just play so differently. And, you know, I think especially in women's sports, we do what we were taught growing up, and that takes a lot more like character and grit, just all around. It's a little bit harder, you know. It's like you have to have those fundamentals to succeed in women's sports in general. So seeing, you know, those women put in all that work and then finally getting the recognition they deserve has just been amazing. And I'm definitely happy to watch it. It's getting there. It's not there yet, but it's getting there. They have a little ways to go, but at least, you know, we can finally say that it's up on the uphill slope to it.
Girl, yes. About time they got charter flights because especially for
Really,
the
I know that's
WNBA.
crazy. I didn't even know that, honestly, until I saw that. I'm like, that is so sad.
Yeah, because here's the thing. I don't know if you remember it, but last year, like they've been wanting charter flights. The players have been wanting charter flights because there be games where they have to be there on time, and then by the time they get there, they only have a little bit practice to go, or flights delayed, or the bus, and it's like, where's the
Yeah,
charter flights? And then like last year, of course, like when Brittany Griner came back and everybody was harassing her and the Phoenix Mercury and stuff. And it's like, this is why y'all need charter flights. Like, so this doesn't happen.
literally,
But
that Griner stuff is just that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. It's so sad that it really came to that over a pen. That's
yes.
just
And it's like, and now like with charter flights, they finally got charter flights because, with the draft this year, the draft class of this year was super hyped up and everything and stuff. So my question is for you is, what do you believe is the misconception of women's basketball?
ooh, that's a good one. The misconception of women's basketball. I feel like I think in general, like going back to what I said before, I think women aren't recognized for all the hard work that they put in. You know, all those going back to the fundamentals, putting in, learning it. Like you don't have women come into sports who haven't played a role actually. You know, it's like I feel like the best of the best have played since they were really little. It wasn't just like, oh, let me get in it because I'm athletic. Like to play women's sports, especially women's basketball, you have to have the fundamentals. And I feel like that for me isn't recognized enough in women's basketball. I think people look at Caitlin Clark like, oh my gosh, she's amazing, but it's her fundamentals that make her like who she is. You know, she put in that time, she put in that work, she perfected her shot. I just feel like when people look at it, they don't look at the fundamentals of things and like all the work that it takes to get into it.
Oh yeah, because shooting from downtown and just like, yo, kudos to you. Like,
Especially how quick her releases is like amazing.
oh yeah, because they used to compare all that, like her quick release versus Stephen Curry's quick release. It's like, why can't we just compare the women with the other women players? Why we gotta compare the NBA players with the women's players, and vice versa?
Yeah, no, but at the same time, I think them comparing her to an NBA player is getting women's basketball recognition from, you know, the NBA side of things, which it is all helpful. In all honesty, like people say, there's not really bad publicity. I think there can be, but you know, publicity is publicity.
That's true. So
Yeah.
my question is like, can you like let folks know like the daily life schedule of a student athlete, because some folks still don't understand how much hard work each student athlete has to put in daily. Can you
It's
like
true.
describe the daily life of a student athlete?
yeah, you literally don't have a life as a student athlete, which is it's good and bad. It keeps some people in line, which was great for me. Definitely still can get a little in, but it keeps you on such a tight schedule. Like for some people, we have like 5:30 a.m. practices. Like you're not doing anything at night when you have a 5:30 a.m. practice, but you literally go morning practice, school, afternoon practice, and then if you have time, you do your homework. But you have to find time. So it definitely is. It's a lot, and it builds character. It really does. It prepares you for the real world as well. I mean, just being able, especially now, to be able to like juggle a job and juggle a family. It's just like having that structure that I had through college really did help me be able to comfortably manage what I do now.
So, like, when you say it helps you balance, like, with work and family, like, how were you able to prepare yourself to, like, shout out to you for being a mother. Like, I just I love athletes being mothers, like, to see, like, the strong will. Like, people don't understand how, you know, it's so, I think it's just so beautiful. I just think it's, like, strong, so, and amazing. So, how did it, like, help you prepare to become the mother that you are, especially with representation in women's sports with you having a daughter?
Yeah, I mean, just like the time management of everything, those early mornings, especially, and everybody knows when you have a young child, don't sleep. And I feel like I didn't sleep much in college. I also had a job through college. So juggling all of that and then, being able to wake up early with my daughter and get her ready for school on top of getting me ready for work. I mean, just the time management of everything really did help with what I do now between my daughter and, work.
Because, like, I'm like, kudos. Like I said, kudos to you. Bless it, bless it, bless it, girl. Because, and she is so gorgeous. She is so adorable too.
She is. She's currently going through her terrible twos. Terrible twos are a real thing. They're real. They're a struggle. They're real.
Not the terrible twos.
It's so bad. But, she's so cute. You look at her, you're like, why are you so cute and then act like this?
It's like babies shouldn't act like this. They're so cute. They couldn't.
But yeah, the terrible twos hit me hard. Just recently turned 2 in April, so I hit the ground running.
So my question is for you with with representation in sports, how important is representation to you in sports?
I feel like representation in sports and in everything is huge. It brings light to, how am I trying to say this? How you portray yourself to other people, and not just to people watching, but to your teammates, to your coach. Your representation is what's going to put you ahead of others in the world, in all honesty, and in women's sports and the real world and working. Representation is just, it almost shows your character. It shows who you are. It also brings people around you that are meant to be around you. If you're representing yourself in a poor way, you're going to bring bad representation around you. That's just how that works. So I think with how you represent yourself, you're going to draw the right people for you, people who should be in your life, people who should be supporting you and surrounding you. And that's important, in the real world as well. But the biggest thing with representation in women's sports is just how your teammates view you, how they try, your coaches view you, how they trust you. I mean, teamwork is everything in women's sports. So without that positive representation, I feel like it could ruin a team to an extent.
For sure. And what would you say is one of probably your top three college basketball moments when you were playing college ball?
The number one thing I definitely remember the most, as horrible as this is losing in the first round of nationals. That was just heartbreaking. Teaches you got to move on from things, but that was definitely, I think, my number one, because I'm like still mad we lost. Second, I think, was the time I scored 42 points in a game. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. Just having those moments where you feel like you can't miss. And that was one of those games that will probably never leave my brain. And the third one, I would say, I don't know why this game, but we played against Weber, and these refs were so bad. I mean, I have pictures of me getting hit in the face and then being on the ground and not getting it called. Um, just the grit that game took for us to win and to like keep your composure during that game, I think that's something that stuck with me as well.
Girl, you got hit, and they ain't called nothing.
When it's over, I'm going to show you this picture, okay? Like, and you tell me that this was not a clear foul.
I'm just folks be missing. And it's like it's a clear hit.
These refs were so bad. It was awful.
We run into those. It's like we run into them every time. It's like, why they gotta be like, who paid them? Who?
That's how we feel, and we still win, so it's fine.
It's like, just tell me that you're on someone else's side without telling me that you're on someone's side.
Exactly.
It's like, just you ain't got to lie. Like, if you gotta play, if you gotta do us dirty, then I mean, just let us know.
That'd be so bad.
So my question for you is, what would you say is the competition difference between University of Tampa and St. Thomas University when you were playing at both of those colleges?
Yeah, it was definitely different, but at the same time, I think it was different on the size level more than anything. I felt like there was obviously a lot bigger girls when I was at University of Tampa. But at the same time, going to St. Thomas, I feel like I played with a lot of athletic girls as well. I would say, yeah, the biggest thing is for me was the size. I think that most of the people I played with at St. Thomas could have played with me at University of Tampa. I think that they had the talent. I just think that the size was the biggest thing.
Oh yeah, because I was like, why have I heard of St. Thomas University? I was like, I feel like I've heard of it, but I'm trying to picture it. But like Tampa, kind of heard of it. I'm like, why have I heard of both of them? Like, oh, okay. So, what a lot of people don't understand or know. It's like we knew each other, like virtually we knew each other through Beautiful Ballers. Because I used to see you posted on Beautiful Ballers, and we were both posted. I was like, folks don't understand the connection that social media be having.
It really does. I know social media can be a great thing, but it can be a scary thing as well.
So my question is for you is, how impactful do you see social media play in sports?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, it brings a lot of the limelight to women's sports, especially women's basketball right now. I mean, people who aren't necessarily basketball fans, they see certain videos on social media and they're like, oh, let me go look more into this. And then I feel like that's what opens up people to becoming, a fan of the sport in general or the fan of a player. It's just, I think people who wouldn't naturally look at it, they come across it from time to time, and that kind of draws them into becoming a fan of the sport in general.
Because, some of them, like, I agree with you, but because some of them, they be like, I'm going to need that parlay to hit today. I'm like, what? Y'all gonna just do this?
I understand the sport gambling, but I do wish social media was what it was when I was playing, especially all the pictures and things they take now. Me and one of my good friends, Samara, we always joke about, we played at St. Thomas together. We always joke about how big the school got since we left, and like they're not as good as when we were there, kind of thing. Like, not no shade to them, but I feel like we should have gotten that. But like social media recognition, we're like a little salty about it, but we get it. We're happy for the girls that are going through it and like actually get to experience it like that. It is kind of cool having that platform while being in sports. And I think Beautiful Ballers is a big one that really brings women together in it too. I applaud them. I always loved getting posted by them. It was just fun, you know.
Girl, you be like, because I remember I was like, when I got posted, I was like, oh, I feel so honored. I was like,
I
oh,
know, literally, me too.
it's like it's a special moment. It's
It
like
really is.
y'all not gonna ruin my day. Don't ruin my day. I feel a little special today.
For sure. I know, me too, me too.
So my question is like, what's your input about the NIL being implemented in college?
Why couldn't they do it better? It's just those kids deserve it. I think, I think they deserve it, but I do think that it's a scary thing as well. Players being able to make that type of money young, it's good. It is good, but it also can be harmful. Just looking at it from like a financial background, I think that they're young and could potentially be taken advantage of with financial situations. So, you're young, you don't know everything you do when you get a little bit older. So I feel like you're at more of a risk of doing stupid with your money more than anything. Which that really needs to be taught more in school as well. I think, especially now with the NIL deals, I think that they need money management growing up. I mean, that you learn so many topics in school that will truly never help you. I think bringing, a good financial class and money management class to schools, especially now in high school, when those kids are potentially getting NIL deals, it's just to have that and have that knowledge of it, I think would eliminate the issues with the NIL deals. But it's great. I mean, look at all the people that were making money off of these players' names, and now these players get to make money off of their own name. It is a blessing, and it was a long time overdue for sure.
Yes, because Lord have mercy. You saw all these people wearing everybody's jerseys and it's like, okay, I see you wearing my jersey. Where's my cut at? Like,
No, right? Like somebody else is making money off of that, which is just what was crazy about it, really.
and the fact that they couldn't like say they couldn't even get a you couldn't be able some people couldn't be able to get a job because of the schedule that they had.
Oh,
And
exactly.
and I remember there were some people that they couldn't even say sell their books, like, return their books to sell them. So it's like, so they're keeping all these books that they're never going to use anymore. So it's like more finances coming out of their pocket instead of
Oh,
like,
yeah, exactly. No,
so
definitely. It was huge. I remember in college, I used to work as a bartender, and then I used to work as a bottle girl in a club. I used to go from work to straight to practice in the morning. I mean, I looking back on that, I don't know how I did it. I would not be able to do that anymore.
oh,
Blood's different.
hey, like I said, kudos to you because, like, just people don't understand the balance and the time management is key in this.
Huge. It really is. It builds such character. You just, especially then, you don't know. You're like complaining so much about it. You're not appreciating it, but you get older and you look back on that time, you're gonna appreciate it for sure.
Yes, because I just want one person who's never played a sport who doesn't understand like the sport. I just want them to just take one day of trying to wake up at 5:30 in the morning for workouts and all that stuff. Please tell me you'll sing a different tune afterwards before you even say that, oh, they got it easy. I just hope that tune be singing different.
Never.
It's like, because my thing is too, my question is with that is, um, when you said like, what would you said they should have like financially like classes, like how would you propose that?
Just in high school, have like a money management class, like teach kids, even not, you have an economics class and that's great. Like economics is nice, but I think they overcomplicate economics sometimes for most kids, especially at that age. Um, I just think like money management, like learning about like retirement accounts and 401ks, annuities, all of the things that people know nothing about, that could make your money at the end of the day, and safe investments. Understanding credit. Kids don't understand credit at all, and how huge credit is in today's world. Just like, you can't do anything if you're a billionaire. Cool, for everything in cash, but if you're not, you need credit for literally everything. I mean, I know people who are my age who still don't have credit, and yeah, those kids with those NIL deals are getting a lump sum of money, but in all reality, they're still going to probably need credit for at least the first 10 years of their fame. So, yeah, I just think having a dummied down version of economics would be great.
Girl, when I took economics, I was like, "What is this? Like, y'all making it over? Y'all making it too much? Like, I just can't do it. Like, I tried."
See, I never used economics until I went to study for my Series 7, and then economics made sense.
All I know is I just remember budgeting classes and project classes for my degree, and I'm like, I will never remember these again.
Yeah.
I don't want to. So how did your major study apply to both sports and life in general for you?
Well, I was all over the place what I wanted to do. I started off pre-law, and then I went into accounting, and then I finished up with business management. So I was all over the place, kind of trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. But I think having a background and understanding of each of those subjects has helped me to an extent. Maybe not. Pre-law was my freshman year, so that one kind of went out the window. All you learn the first year is like criminal defense, which I loved. It was nice. But definitely accounting and my business management degree, that helped me tremendously. I mean, I'm a registered rep for a broker dealer based out of Miami. We do a lot of alternative investments, so those helped me. And then now, you have to, when you go into finance, usually you're going to form your own LLC. So the business management section kind of did teach me just how to open my own business, how to manage my own business, and potentially operate it. So it was very helpful.
I need to learn more about business because clearly I'm just like, what's a mortgage? Like, how do y'all do these mortgages equations that was taught in math? Like, I would never.
My family, I did an internship for my family. They're a commercial mortgage company. So I learned the basics, and then I went into, more of the financial field.
I'm like, this is a lot of math. I mean, this is why I'm like, hey, y'all like math? Go ahead. I don't like math, but I love counting money though.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love counting
reading
money.
and writing, I don't like. I'm a horrible writer.
Hey, I can do the writing for you. The math, but I love counting money. Don't like counting down money. I like counting up money.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, how are you able to adjust from, after college as an athlete? How were you able to adjust that, like the transition?
It was a sad transition. I look back at the time I missed basketball, but I actually out of college started coaching girls travel basketball team. So that was kind of like my way of hanging on to it, and, giving back to the sport that taught me so much. I think that helped a lot with the transition in general. I would like to get back into it. I obviously stopped when I got pregnant with my daughter. I remember I was a couple months pregnant the last time I coached, and I was like running down the court with them. I was like, maybe I should do this. So that definitely, yeah, coaching helped me with the transition. And I think just with the knowledge that I have and the want to give back to the sport and, maybe get back into coaching down the road as just like a volunteer kind of position would be, it helped me kind of feel a purpose with getting out of playing basketball. Kind of gave me a tie back into it.
Do you see yourself going back to coaching, even like, with everything?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna make sure my daughter plays, and then I'll just coach her. It all hurts. It'll be fine.
It's like, go in there, go. Just like we're gonna make sure we get you to dribble. Just make sure we're gonna get you to dribble.
I already have a little basketball hoop in my house. I'm not playing.
Has she been using it? Like just
Yeah, every time she like scores in it, we do these like big cheers, so she likes it.
oh. Yep, she's
No,
a
it's kind of selfish of me. I'm like, play basketball for me. She'll be
ain't
way
nothing
taller than I am, so she'll be fine.
ain't nothing wrong with that. That's usually where a lot of people start is just playing under their parents and then like
Yeah,
and then
I did it until I was in high school. My dad was my coach. And it gives you a certain bond with your parent too. So I liked it. I mean, we obviously bumped heads a lot. He was definitely a very tough coach, but you need that in life. It pushes you places.
I know that's right. So speaking of which, who would you say are were like say your role models both in life and in sports?
Hmm. I really don't think I had much of like a athletic role model too much. I obviously had favorite players. I think in the basketball field, I think just Kyrie Irving was like my role model. Like just the way that his court vision is, how he plays, especially young Kyrie, is just it's like if I could play like him. I think yeah, in the basketball field, I would say Kyrie was definitely my role model. Just his court vision and how he made his teammates better was just something I always loved. Um, yeah, I don't know. I guess I would not to be cheesy, but I just think like another role model for me has been my dad, being able to coach me, and he did a lot for, especially like growing up for like travel. He did a lot of things for other people as well. It wasn't just all about me. My sister, she's my sister now. He took her in at a young age, and she like lived with us. We took care of her, helped her get into university in Miami. Just seeing him and him being able to juggle work and family and still helping other people out was just like inspiring.
Oh,
I'll never show him this video though. I can't get to.
oh. Like I will never show this video. I just don't want him to know. But
He does not need to hear any of this.
but man, I have this. You're the first person that mentioned Kyrie as their role model because like I'm like really like that
He's
is
my favorite. He still is like my favorite point guard.
man.
Kevin Durant is my favorite player, but Kyrie's my favorite point guard. And for like what I did, he was definitely my role model.
Untucked jersey, Kyrie was a whole different breed. That was a whole
Right.
different game. Like,
He really was young Kyrie.
but man, the what he's been playing lately, like I know he's practicing Ramadan, but man, just seeing him dunk, I've never seen him dunk in a real game. But I was like, yo, this is I know he used to dunk in high school, but yo.
Yeah. I know he's impressive, and then to see like him and his religious beliefs and still not letting that affect basketball, I think it's just like that's inspiring to see that people can do that. People can follow their religion enough and still do their career and do what they love to do. So it's definitely inspiring to a lot of people, and I don't think he gets enough credit for that.
He does. He doesn't, especially like people like to use what he did, use something that happened in the past on him. Like I've seen people do worse. That is not worse. I've seen people do worse things.
Exactly.
I
Yeah, it's
mean,
crazy.
but like and like the fact that I think what he does too, what he does is he promotes people. Like what he does is he reminds folks that he is human. And
Exactly. People forget that. Like all these stars and athletes in the limelight, like people don't realize they're human. Like, what mistake did you make yesterday, and you're going to sit here and criticize him for it? So it's just people don't think of that. People don't. They hide behind their screens and don't think of like, oh, this is a real human being.
I wish people would understand that athletes are more than an athlete because like they cry, they breathe the same as everybody else. Like you know, they all the hard work they put in just as much as the regular 9 to 5 person that works hard, and it's just I think the pedestal what it is. I feel like they're put on a pedestal to where they have to be perfect at all times, or else if they mess up, it's like, man, I'm done. So,
Yeah, true.
so my question is for you is how important is mental health?
Ooh, I was hoping you asked me this question. I've seen it on your podcast, and mental health is huge. My brother's actually a psychiatrist, so he's a big advocate for mental health. He sees it every day. He sees how important it really is. He's helped a lot of people, which it's inspiring to see that that's what he decided to do with his career. But mental health is huge. I had a best friend who was struggling with mental health. Growing up, you never would have thought it, but all it takes is that one trigger for you to like go completely off course, and it's a struggle. I mean, to watch people not correctly care for it, and then compared to when they actually do care for their mental health, it's like night and day. It really is. For people who can actually like admit to issues and like comfortable enough to get help, and it could be something so little like speaking to somebody about something. I mean, it's like people don't want enough help, and I feel like that scares at mental health. People need support. People need, when you need help, you need help, and it's just like for people to normalize mental health like it has been, and for people to feel like, okay, I'm comfortable enough to get help now. It it's good to see that it's going, in a better way. People aren't frowning upon mental health. They're really like making it a norm, which is it's great for today's world, I think, and all the craziness of the world. It's definitely needed.
Oh yeah, because I noticed. I I'm glad I asked that question because like I was waiting for that. I was like, oh really? Great. Because my thing is, I've always asked my guests this question, especially like with every like you know how like athletics, especially like with everything in life, like as much as we use our body in our everyday life, like our physical body, like I feel like it needs to, as much as we use our body physically, it needs to be up there too. Like
Oh,
just
definitely. Like you can't do anything with your brain. Like you're using it all the time. You're thinking about everything you do. It's just people get exhausted. People get worn out, and that's normal. We're not robots. We're humans. So I just think people finally taking like that into account and getting the help that they need, and seeing that you go on social media and like, yeah, obviously you're gonna have people who like tear you down for certain things, but like how many people will agree with you and support you and have the same belief as you? It's just like for people to be able to see that in today's world, that's huge for mental health right now.
oh yeah, because like we were just talking about how athletes are human and you know it takes a toll. Like I just and you know would you how would you say during your college years did you feel like mental health played a huge part too, or would you say you recognized it right after college?
I think it did. I think that it wasn't as normal as it is now. Being so stressed and so uh, over consumed with something, you're not thinking to go get help with it. It wasn't like, oh, I can go talk to somebody about this. It was more you dealing with it internally. Some people get through it, some people don't. I feel like I handled it well. Built character, but at the same time, I think having that help would have helped me more. I remember going to practice sometimes just being physically and mentally exhausted, and to be able to tell somebody that I wasn't like okay or I wasn't all there would have been great. I wish I did, but I pushed through it back then. I think looking back on it, I definitely recognize that more than I did in that moment. Yeah, but yeah, it's just different now. So much I feel like has changed since I played.
Cause like if I don't know, like it's just you would see so many statistics that like years before, like even I graduated, even though it happened even before and after I graduated. And it's like, you see these statistics of how some of these athletes, some of these student athletes are retiring super early because like their mental health is not being taken seriously, or they're worn out, or they're just, or like with everything that's happening. And some of them are like, I don't know what to do. And I just think if people would, especially the NCAA, because, you know, I feel like if they actually took the mental health seriously for colleges and there's more support for them, I think
Yeah.
it would be very helpful to understand like, man, these are kids. These are 18-year-olds entering an adulthood that's still trying to navigate life. So like, but
Yeah, and I think people have access to help more now because mental health being brought to light by so many stars, so many professional athletes, retired athletes. I think that people can and will get the help that they need more and more, as it stays in the light and is made as important as it should be.
yeah.
Sorry for my daughter in the background talking about mom.
Hey, I'm telling. I was like, it sounds like her. It's like it is. Look, I always say this podcast is raw, real. Like there's
Yeah.
raw, real. We gonna hear everything. Like I'm here for it. Like I'm ain't no like judgment, nothing. Like this is raw, real. I've had folks like come in and like cuss a little bit. I'm like, look, go ahead, it's raw, real. Or it's like ain't no filter here, so ain't no censorship here. I just be
Good, good. No, I like it.
it's like I'm bringing I'm bringing the real. I may have bloopers. I'm being straightforward with it.
Definitely.
So my question is, how would you describe your journey?
Ooh, bumpy. Very bumpy. Yeah, I just being young and clueless sometimes can lead you where you're supposed to go in life, but you're not who you are without the life lessons that you've had. Um, I feel like I had a lot of life lessons throughout my career. Definitely made me who I am today. It's just some of the things that you go through on and off the court. I mean, growing up as a kid, like I think that will forever stick with me. But it was bumpy.
Like the little valleys and hills, just.
Very uphill steep, so very big drops.
But you know what though? You made a whole point. You know that you learn the lessons throughout the bumpy roads. So I just
Yeah, I at one point stopped playing basketball for a couple months, but it happens.
do you
I
miss
went back. I learned my lesson quick, and then I went back in.
do you miss it at times? Do you miss playing at times?
Definitely, definitely. I keep in contact with a lot of my teammates, which is nice. You're a sisterhood when you play together, especially for so many years. It's just, I definitely miss it. It was a very fun time in my life.
Woo! The sisterhood is real for basketball. The
It
sisterhood is
really
real. So I always ask my guests this question because I always ask this question. So Bonafide means unique and authentic. So what makes Kate Ruth Bonafide, and what makes your stories just stands out from others?
Ooh, that's deep. Um, one thing that my friends always say to me is like, I'm always there for them no matter what. I feel like I'm very loyal. I feel like if anyone ever needs me, no matter what, just say the word and I'm there. I think that that's something that really puts me above most people in today's world is just my loyalty and, my love for the people around me. Probably from the sisterhood of basketball.
Ooh, loyalty is royalty.
Yeah,
Loyalty is
all about
royalty.
loyalty. That's big for me. And if I can find somebody who gives me the same loyalty in return, that's huge. Like they're with me for life.
Yes. Yes. Because
Definitely.
Lord have mercy. Loyalty is royalty, and I always say that. But you know, of course, in life, you're so sometimes in life you're loyalty by default to some people, but
Yeah.
only some people be loyal to you when it's only beneficial to them. It's like, God dang.
I know.
So,
Yeah.
but I loved it. I felt that in my soul. I felt that in my soul that you are loyal because woo, I'm loyal. That's just
That's I could get that vibe from you for sure.
like that's it's just like like I'm like yo, I'm loyal to you. I'm here for you. But don't take my kindness for weakness now. Like,
I know. That's huge. I've had that happen many times.
but you know what though? At the end of the day, we still here. We still blessed. You know, we living, we doing better things than all the folks. Like, whew, what was that? Oh man, man, I, who are you again? New here,
Yeah,
new do this.
exactly. No, I'm definitely. I'm happy with who I have around me. I think I got a great support system and some great friends that are, they're aunties to my daughter. So that's big.
I know that's right, cause
Yeah.
hey, let them know, let them know. So, can you let the viewers know how and where they can support you, and if there's any upcoming events happening for you?
Huh. I'm like a off social media kind of individual person now. I used to be on social media a lot, but I feel like I just have kept things so private in my life since having a daughter, and that's okay. If anyone ever wants to invest, if you want to invest in some alternatives, just reach out.
Y'all heard it first, girl. Y'all heard it first. Like, invest. Invest with Kate. Invest in Kate Ruth. With Kate Ruth. Invest.
There you
Hey, hey,
go.
hey. I'm telling you, when you invest in women, great things happen. Hello.
This is true. This is true.
And you learn from the best, too, because you know who run the world, girls.
Definitely, girls. I know. I'm stoked for my daughter.
I know that's right. So, thank you guys for tuning in to episode 50 featuring Kate Ruth. And be
I'm
sure to
honored.
check.
Congrats on the 50, and thank you so much for having me. This was great.
Oh, of course. Y'all be sure to check out the live replay after this. Thank you guys.